Yeah, you mentioned that industry support of university research is on the decline. It has been on the decline for quite a few years. And
Actually, it
then,
never reached more than 7%, so
you
it's
said
gone
it got
down
down
to
to about
6%.
5 or 6, I guess, something like
Yeah.
that. Can you explain why that's been on the decline, and then also then what's been the effect of that, or what's been the effect of your open innovation approach to support for the University of Akron?
I think there are two reasons for why industry support of university research has been so small across the board. Now, it varies. MIT's Media Lab has about 40% support from industry. Some of our programs at Akron have about 50% support from industry. And across the board, it's very small. And I would submit there are two reasons. It wasn't so long ago that universities simply refused to have anything to do with industry. They thought that was making a pact with the devil, okay? It's as simple as that. Likewise, industry was in a period of time when they thought that sharing anything with anybody that could potentially be detrimental to their business because it might leak out, it may become available to a competitor, was also something that they shouldn't do. So there were these sort of different approaches at different places, and I'm sure all of you here, I see some younger faces, but for those of you that are closer to my age, you know that there are many companies in our environment who didn't even talk to other companies in the same business, obviously because they were competing on the one hand, but they didn't create a network. They stayed highly secretive, highly isolated, and that has created the problem. What is happening is that this, I think, is rapidly changing, but I see this is one of the reasons the National Academy started this University Industry Demonstration Project. There's been a little too much finger pointing where a company that, say, supports 5% of a research project somehow or other is led to believe that they should own the entire research project instead of some share of it, for example. Or a company that says, oh, I want to buy the patent. But a university has a responsibility to be sure that that technology is utilized as broadly as possible while still creating the opportunity for protection that is inherent in a particular field of use. If you're only going to use it, for example, in building a plane, why not let somebody else use it in building a car? Or if you've got a biomedical technology that can be used in bladder repair, but somebody else, a company thinks that it can be used in repairing some other part of the body, these are field of use issues. It's a flexibility, right?
Right.
Okay, Scott, boy, he's learned his lesson. So those are just a couple of things that are problematic. We've got to be just a little bit more open. Anything else, colleagues?
Yeah, one
Yes.
question. Dr. Proenza, you mentioned that one of the problems in particular in Northeast Ohio is risk-adverse nature of a lot of the businesses and individuals. And another problem that we're experiencing is trying to keep those who have graduated from our institutions here in Northeast Ohio. And maybe it's a chicken and egg issue here, but what can we do to provide an environment so as to make it more likely that those who have gone through our educational institutions and hopefully have learned a lot of what you have talked about here today, stay here and help promote economic development in Northeast Ohio?
Well, that is a little bit of that chicken and egg question. Here's the way I look at it. Clearly, as I've sort of suggested, what we're trying to do is create a set of programs at the University of Akron that are optimally linked to the major industrial clusters in Northeast Ohio. As a result, about 85% of our students stay in Northeast Ohio because they can find jobs here. Okay? But looking at it more broadly, colleagues, you don't want an environment in which you simply keep your own. You want an environment that attracts others. And some people say it's not a question of brain drain, but clearly what we see in some of the colleges and universities, both in Northeast Ohio and elsewhere, is they have a set of programs that are not as closely related to the industries in Northeast Ohio. They may be more closely related to industries in the Far East or in California or in Boston. And guess what? The students are going to go where the jobs are. Okay, but the the opportunity exists and really creates a much stronger economic value over the years if you make the environment very attractive for people to come here as well as to stay here. And in the end result, brain flow is a much more attractive concept than brain retention, if you wish. It's good if we can retain, but the influx of new ideas from all over the world is very valuable. That's frankly what's made our country as strong as it is. I hope most of you